Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Butters with the first ever YouTube video. I've been getting a lot of questions about daily recaps, trade breakdowns, all sort of things. So here is my first ever YouTube video. I'll be breaking down today's price action, September 30th, 2025. I'm going to dive into everything that I saw coming into the day, how I navigated the market, the trades that I took, and in my opinion, what the best setup of the morning was. So make sure you guys watch to the end of the video. I'll be breaking down all that right now, give you guys a quick, in-depth, but also straight to the point video. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get right into it. All right, so coming into the day, we had this obvious range on the hourly chart that was my main use for narrative and my higher time frame bias. As I note to you guys always, whenever we're given a higher time frame range, I'm always looking to see the reaction from the high or the low of the range. I'm using the correlation between NQ and ES to gauge where price wants to go. Do we want to displace and seek continuation, or do we want to raid with some sort of S&C to seek some sort of reversal? So there's two main options that I'm always looking for whenever we're inside of a range, and I'm usually waiting for one of them to occur to then get on side with some sort of engagement or some sort of anticipation for price to do a specific thing. So I just showed you guys the hourly chart coming into the day. Here is the 5-minute chart, which is really where I spend a lot of my time during the morning when I'm capitalizing off of the first hour and a half of the market open. As you can see here, price opened up in premium of this hourly range, and 930 delivered quickly into these previous lows, providing right here a bullish SMT with ES. So as price delivered into this lows, NQ swept this London low from 330. ES decided not to. So in this instance, this is where I was looking to see what kind of reaction do we get from price. Obviously, one of the two objectives that I wanted to see were met in form of NQ running this low. We're given the S&T. Now, do we want to seek the high of the range? I wasn't ready to switch over to my long bias right away because I needed that lower time frame confirmation. What I was primarily looking at was this 5-minute SIBI that price made as it delivered into this low. Now, I wouldn't use this 5-minute SIBI for a long setup given the risk on it, but I was more so looking for price to deliver to the upside, creating some sort of inefficiency to then drill down to set up on the 1-minute or the 3-minute to then catch a long setup. As you can see here, when I drill down to the 1-minute, we created several imbalances here that were maybe a possible point where price could see some sort of reaction off of. At this moment, we had the bullish SMT at London lows, but also a bearish SMT at these 930 highs. So I'm in a point of confliction where price doesn't want to tell me that it's going up just yet, but also it's too early to tell if it's going down. So in this instance, I'd need more expansion to the upside here to create some sort of inefficiency here to then anticipate higher, or I'd have to wait to see if price wants to go lower and create expansion below the previous low. As you can see, we got neither expansion higher or lower, and we rated this low coming right back into the range. So there's no information for me to take a trade there. Given the chop back and forth on the lower time frame, I decided to scale back up to a higher time frame in which I saw this 15-minute SIBI above price. I figured with another bullish SMT at the lows, we might seek that higher time frame PD array in form of this 15-minute SIBI to then anticipate lower prices. NQ had a little bit more weakness than ES overall. ES was taking highs that NQ wasn't. NQ was taking lows that ES wasn't. And in hindsight, that provides for low probability conditions, although I still thought that NQ might want to deliver lower off this 5-minute raid and this 15-minute SIBI. As we got expansion into that 5-minute and this 15-minute SIBI, we had an SMT with ES at these 840 highs, which I thought might be the final straw. I thought we might pair the 15-minute SIBI, the 5-minute rate, and the SMT at this high here above 930 price to then expand lower. In that instance, I used this 4-minute SIBI to look for a potential short off of my model being higher time frame fair value gap, SMT, lower time frame members. So I did take a short setup on this 4-minute SIBI. This was the short setup that I took on NQ here. Closure below that 4-minute SIBI, closure again below a 1-minute up close candle, which in my opinion should resist price. I then took a short at 1010 with TP being low of day as my first partial. And then I would be looking for more downside on the higher time frame. As you can see here, we got some move into profit, although most of the trade was spent in drawdown, in which I did get stopped about 5 minutes later. So that was my short for the day. After that, we spent a little bit more time consolidating. The bias was a little bit more unclear to me until we got an SMT at low a day with ES. At 10:35, ES delivered into these 955 lows, with NQ taking out an internal low, and then NQ popped back up. The SMT at low a day was a great setup to drill down to the lower time frame to finally catch a run to that 930 high on NQ. As you can see here, when you pair the SMT together and then you drill down to the lower time frame, there is a prime 1 minute IFVG setup to take a long entry off of right here. Your entry would look something like this: entry with closure above and retracement into. Stop can be at the low of the bodies of the OB here, targeting this most recent internal and high a day. As you can see, we got a nice expansion of that, a really clean LRLR run into those highs here, and in my opinion, the best setup of the day. I did get caught into a bad short setup. Unfortunately, I did take a loss on that. I was willing to put risk on the table given the conditions that I had been met prior to the entry of it. But as you can see, it did not deliver to, and then we got clean delivery in form of this long setup for my favorite setup of the New York AM session. That right there is a quick and in-depth breakdown of everything that happened on today, September 30th, during the AM session. If you guys took the same trade as me and took a loss on it, let me know. Let me know what time you entered, if you entered a trade today. And let me know who caught that long setup, because that was the best setup of the morning. As always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys' support always. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. I have more breakdowns coming very, very soon, and also maybe a free course to generate for you guys as well. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Happy trading. Peace.